Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and Tite-Reach makes these extension clamps, and I did a video on this one a while ago. This is kind of their standard size. This is their version 1. They now have a version 2, and they sell it in a set of 3 different sizes for about 50 bucks. Normally these sell for almost 25 bucks a piece. They made 3 upgrades to it that I noticed. One of them, I'll start out here, well first I'll do the lengths. This is the standard 10.5-inch length. It was the original size, and it was also the same size pretty much as the Handee clamp, which may be a predecessor to it. The Handee clamp is made in the United States. Tite-Reach is, the design and engineered in the U.S., made in China. The similarities are striking between the original. One big difference, though, is that the Handee clamp is just a little bit wider at the jaw and a little bit stronger material. But anyway, going back to the upgrade here, the version 2, first of all, they raised the height of the jaws, as you can see. Maybe I'll do it this way so you can see the jaws are longer on the new version in terms of the height. Does that have an effect on your clearance? Well, of course, it is a little bit taller, but those few millimeters really only come into play if you have tiny fasteners like that. So you'd really have to be in a bind, basically, for that to matter. But I also noticed, like, here's a nylon threaded nut. If you put that into the original, you barely grab any of the actual hex part of the fastener. And in this case, you actually grab over half of it, so that's a good thing. Here's the original. If I drop that down, because you've got, obviously, the nylon side out, so you can see it just barely grabs it, not near as strong. So one difference is the jaw height. Another difference is they have increased the thread length on the threaded rod, which provides that, that adjustability here. So now it goes out, check this out, I'll wind this out. I can go up to a nut this size here. Show you. So I drop that on, I'll cinch that down. Check that out. So if I needed to, reach down on a big oil rig somewhere over the ocean, I could use my Tite-Reach there to hold that nut, or hold that bolt or something to insert it. Probably not, but you could. Anyway, the old style had a much shorter one, so if I screw that out to, over maximum here, I can probably do something about that size. Maybe this size. So there's the difference right there in the two. And of course the Handee clamp is the same as the original Tite-Reach. Probably where those sizes came from. Anyway, and so the jaw height, the extension of the threaded part of the vise there. The third thing is they have upgraded the texture on the wheel, the set screw, basically, right here, set wheel, compared to the original, which was pretty smooth here. You can see the difference there. So they really needed to do that. The Handee clamp is pretty solid. In fact, I wonder if it's repurposed from something else. It's almost a gear. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to do, though, was show you a kind of a test of strength on the old ones. So I'm going to drop this, drop a threaded collar on onto the Handee clamp here, the original one. Cinch that down. I've been doing a bunch of stuff with this, so it's a little bent up, but kind of get the idea. And then I can do that also on the Tite-Reach extension clamp, and I'll do it now with the Handee clamp here. I wish Handee was spelled the correct way, because I imagine a lot of people don't know about the Handee clamp, but they know about the Tite-Reach extension clamp, and obviously marketing has something to do with that. But one of the things might just simply be that it doesn't show up as easily when you make up the spelling. You're trying to be clever. But anyway, so I've got these two here, and as I start to twist them, one of the things you'll notice is that the Handee clamp seems a little bit stronger. I'm not seeing near as much flex as I do with the Tite-Reach. And the Tite-Reach eventually pops off and bends. You can easily straighten these out should you bend them up. It's soft enough, thin metal. But use them hard, they do work. And now you've got the different sizes. And even this guy, this little teeny weeny mini one, if I spin that all the way out, can grab something as big as this giant bolt here. So that's pretty impressive. You know, just how much you can grab. The other thing is you can use them with types of hose clamps. This led me to another thought here. If I was trying to cinch this down to compress this, yes, it does compress it. I can use it just like that. But it would be so easy, especially at the price point. I mean, this is essentially bent metal with a threaded collar spot welded onto this piece of stock right here that's just bent. This is actually a great idea, but it would be very easy to have kind of different jaws as well. Maybe angled ones that held the hex part of the nut a little stronger. It could be that maybe these were tapered in or something. I guess I could do that myself. Bend these in so it grabs this a little bit better. Even having holes or something so parts of it, say if I was doing a hose clamp like this, which it is possible here, if I screw this new one all the way out, I can actually grab something that size, which is kind of shocking. See right there? There it is. I don't know if I want to spring load this thing fully, but I could get something like that to hang on a little bit better when I screwed that in. I mean, that's on there pretty solid. But the only reason I'm saying that is obviously this now is this kind of a Handee clamp or Tite-Reach extension clamp. The evolution is in flux now. There are changes being made, and there are 3 changes right here in terms of the length of this, the length of the shaft here, the texture here, the height of the jaw. I guess that's 4. But what's happening is there's innovation, and I like to see that in the tools. And in this case, I think there's innovation out here that could be worked on. And if they've got the the resources and they're nimble enough as a company, Tite-Reach, which they seem to be, they're innovating quite often, that they could probably advance this to some specialty purposes, or even, since we're so close to being able to just pop it apart, having different pieces here that might slide into the handle. I could see a whole set, and you just choose the one you need for the kind of thing that you're going after. Kind of like we do hose clamp pliers, but no single one works as well with all of them, but it would be easy to sell a set of things. Now this part here, I was thinking about that. Instead of modifying it, there could easily be collars or something, or covers that give you that extra bit. Now I'm starting to make a more advanced tool out of something really simple, but there is a need for tools like this, and that means there's probably a need for some specialization if somebody wants to do it, or even customization for very specific jobs. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'll put a link below for this set, this $49 set on Amazon, or you can go to the Tite-Reach company's website. I'll put a link to that as well, and I'll also point out the Handee clamp link. I know a lot of folks like myself are interested in the Made in USA, and we are always looking for innovation too. So Handee clamp, if you're listening, you could certainly start exploring those as well. And with that, Doc out.